Chilly, rainy night.
Yeah.
I mean, for as beautiful as Monday and Tuesday were, Wednesday and Thursday have to be the worst nights and days that we've had in a four day area. I think it's just amazing. But last what's that? Last night we finished off our World Series. The baseball season's over, and one of the weirdest World Series I think I've seen in my years. All the visiting teams won every game for the 7 games. Houston lost the first 2 at home, go there, win 3 straight, lose 2 at home. Hard to explain that World Series. And,
Home field disadvantage.
home field disadvantage, right? And then you get all the Tiger pitchers now have their. I just saw something online for 2015. As Scherzer and Verlander all each have their World Series rings now, so they're all World Series pitchers, huh?
Anibal.
Anibal Sanchez, yeah. So that I mean, the MVP was Strasburg. He's the number 1 prospect back in the day. Went through a lot of arm issues and won 2 games there in the series and ended up being MVP. So and into the new season, they already have the odds on who's going to win next year, and I think Washington, 14-1 odds to win the series next year. I think the A's. They're talking about the A's being one of the teams to watch, but I didn't hear the Tigers mentioned on there. The Tigers were not mentioned in the odds. I think they're 1,000-1 maybe.
It's surprising.
Put $1 down on them, see what happens. $5 and see make a run at it. But yeah, last week sat at that Michigan game, and like Sam said, I'm just drying out from that game. It had to be the wettest, most miserable weather I think I've ever sat in for a Michigan game or coached in. I think there've been a few bad coaching nights or practices, that you deal with whether it's baseball or football coaching. But Michigan really started to play. I'm telling you that. Totally way off my prediction. My prediction was not even close. I don't know about you guys, but I think I had what did I say, 35-31 was my final. And
yeah, Pat, you had 35-31. I had 24-21.
24-21
went the other way.
Yeah, I had Notre Dame by a lot.
Yeah, 23-14. I guess, touchdown.
So
10 points.
yeah, that's it was interesting. I mean, again, it score one for faith, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of making fun of Pat for that, and
what's up with that?
no evidence, but again, I think deep down we all, like any Michigan fan, was thinking, they had it in them.
Yeah.
And I remember, Sam and I mentioning, like, okay, that second half, is it going to, for Penn State, is it going to continue, or is it an aberration? Yeah. I went like it was an aberration, and it continued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they actually did it 6 quarters in a row of good football.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah.
The question is, did they turn the corner? What do you guys think?
Sam, what do you think? Think they turned the corner?
It's hard to say. I mean, there's certainly indications are there that they have. You saw some. I mean, given the weather, you knew what they had to come out and do, and Notre Dame tried to come out and do the same thing, right? You got to run the ball. You got to be able to possess the ball and not turn it over. And Michigan has not been great at doing either of those things, taking care of the football or running the ball, really. And it was amazing how well they were able to do it, and how easily Michigan was able to shut down Notre Dame. I mean, just
that was the biggest impressive.
Yeah, I mean, and not just.
Those 2 guys together ran for 200 and 230 yards combined rushing. The 2 backs alone.
I mean,
39 and 75 or something. Yeah.
And when you watch the blocking and the holes, and I mean, they were just getting out to those backers and just burying those guys. I mean, it was it was an impressive performance. Does it?
Yep.
It really was.
Yeah.
No, and
this is the play that really, I think, leap started the team here with this turnover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is the that fumble against Wisconsin,
Yeah,
by the fullback,
Right.
and
exactly.
where all of a sudden it's like you can just see like one side fired up, one side just lost it.
Right.
I mean, and it happened 5 minutes into the game, and each game was probably a couple minutes into the game,
yeah.
and it just went south for Notre Dame from there. I mean, not that it was going north before that,
hmm
but
But
I mean, you
does.
block a punt out of the end zone, you think good things are going to happen.
It's
And,
another example of one of those things that, like I've said, before, it's a couple, 2-3 plays a game, and depending on when they happen, they can have a huge impact. I think this one definitely.
right. No, and they're 18 to 22-year-olds.
Mhm.
They're highly emotional.
Mhm.
Well, it was so funny watching the game that the referee signaled coming out of the pile. They signaled Notre Dame ball.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the heck.
Yeah.
Then they start to review it and they talk about it and they come out and then they're like, yeah, after reading all the thing down, it says first down Michigan. I'm like, oh, how'd we get the ball? So it was one of those kind of things. As a fan, you're sitting there watching, going, you saw two different things happen right there in that whole play right there. So that, and then they just kept going from there. They really, they picked up blitzes. He had time to throw. The pass interference plays in their favor. Later in the game, there was a pass. I mean, when Notre Dame went down to score, they called Michigan for an interference play that was the
Good
crowd,
question.
the student section didn't like it very well. But
Even there, like on that last play,
I mean, do you see the hole? I mean, just
watch this guy up here.
yeah, good block.
you're getting
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. When I was writing my notes for tonight's recording, I started thinking like I'm writing all this different stuff, and I'm like it was like what you guys said a couple minutes ago. It was just like just the offensive line was just crushing people, and they're getting to the the second level and crushing linebackers, and
Mhm.
and it was it was Michigan came out and punched them in the face.
Mhm.
And you always hear that, but they did.
Mhm.
So they did that, and all the different stuff they were doing, and and I'll go through my list because I took the time to write it down. So you guys are going to listen to it. Damn it. But what it was, when I was looking at the whole list, what I was thinking of is this is why Michigan has 100,000 people plus at every single home game. This is why everybody overreacts to every little thing that happens. People are passionate about this team because that's what we grew up with.
Right.
70s and 80s, it was that. It was a dominating offensive line,
Right.
soul crushing for
Right.
the other team.
Yeah.
I mean, just blue collar, just
Mhm.
run the ball. I mean, almost like pointing where you're going to run it, and then run the damn ball right there.
dare you to stop it.
Bubba,
We haven't really seen that since like Mike Hart running behind who was it? Who was it?
well, he ran behind
Long? No.
those guys.
Who am I forgetting? Who was their super
and
tackle at that
Hudson,
point?
Jake Long, Hutchinson.
It was Jake Long, right?
Yeah, I think Jake Long was with Hart.
Yeah.
Hart
So
was-
that's the thing. Like that was the first play of every game.
sure.
I mean, and that's the thing, and it's that's why people are passionate about this team or about this school, not this team.
Right.
But the school, the program.
Right.
Yeah, and this thing here, that's great. I remember looking at that going, that's not good. I've never seen that before.
You just saw that play there where he scrambled, and I'm like, oh no! And if that pass completes, it just happened to come out of his hand, and Michigan was burned on that one. That guy completes that pass, it's a drive. It keeps the drive going. We got fortunate that the pass didn't complete. It happened a couple of times where they missed that normally they hit, but to help Michigan. But like you were saying earlier, Griff, this game resembled that Wisconsin game in reverse, where
Right.
came out and dominated us and took the life right out of us.
Mhm.
Game, pretty much for Notre Dame fans, probably felt to them like, oh crap,
I was sitting there, and I don't enjoy night games just because you get home at 3 a.m. But that even with the weather, I came out of there going, man, that was a lot of fun because
Right.
I don't think I sat a single play. the entire game. The crowd's really into it. You know, when the defense is flying around like they were, making plays, you know, literally just flying around, that place does get loud. And it got loud last, you know, in Notre Dame. I think I still to this day say they shouldn't play anybody else but Notre Dame at night, because all those Notre Dame games have just been electric. You know, they just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A whole lot of different atmosphere than
It is.
Wisconsin.
One of the guys I sat with is a Notre Dame fan. He came up with a buddy of mine from Florida, and he was just sitting there looking. He had never been to Big House. Big Notre Dame fan, heck of a nice guy. We went to the Michigan Notre Dame game last year down in South Bend with him, and he's just amazed. He's looking around, going, "I don't believe there's 100,000 people here sitting here in this weather. This is incredible." I mean, he was just like, "This is so cool," you know.
Right.
And,
Well, this is why they do it.
yeah,
To see something like this and to get that atmosphere. I mean, you know, all sporting events, other than like an Eastern Michigan football game, have like a, you know, some sort of great atmosphere. And
we had the great field. I mean, I'm giving them a little bit.
yeah, and and that's the thing. There's just that energy.
Yeah, it was there.
You know, again, this is what I grew up with. And I know, I mean, it is what you guys grew up with.
Oh yeah.
Just point to where you're going and just destroy them.
Right.
And it's awesome.
Oh, and we're gonna run it this way, you know.
I remember telling somebody I want Michigan to win every single game, 59-0. And then somebody said, "Oh, that'd get boring." I'm like, I don't know, man.
No, it doesn't get boring.
I'm not sure it would. I mean, after maybe 3 or 4 years.
That wasn't boring. That wouldn't be boring.
Well, like the era.
I mean, imagine that. Imagine that. All of a sudden, you have a 21-0 game. People would be like, "What the hell's going on?"
Well, even then, back in that era, like we said, we go out there and it'd be up 3 touchdowns by the end of the first quarter. As a kid, you're like, man, that's just normal Michigan. You know, you'd go up there and just the game would be pretty much, you know, and they'd win every home game normally. And we ran into that stretch there where all of a sudden I'm like, I'm walking out of Michigan Stadium with the loss. I'm thinking, that is the weirdest feeling. It was the weirdest feeling. Then I almost became accustomed to it because we had those years there that, you know, people hated and they wanted Harbaugh, and now they complain about Harbaugh all the time when he's winning games at the house, you know, and he's making sure when people go there that they're happy. And, you know, obviously when we were kids, anytime we put the white uniforms on and went away, I was always leery, and I'd sit there on the radio listening to it because not every game was on TV. And we'd sit there and listen on the radio, and my dad and I'd be sitting there, you know, raking leaves, listening to the game, and we'd tie Minnesota, or we'd lose at Illinois, or, you know, somehow we'd end up, Purdue would knock us off over there with Mark Herman, you know, the quarterback or whatever. You know, just you know, one of those kind of games. I'm like, it was like one of those things. If we were in blue, I knew we were good. If we dressed in white, I always knew that, boy, you know, I was always leery, you know. But it's a great run. Haskins is one of Haskins' great run, but I don't agree with the jumping part at the end. But
I rarely do.
it's like you got to easily broken the leg right there on that landing. I don't know if that's they talked to him about that, saying don't ever do that again.
I mean, to me, it seems to me if the guy is already committed to going down low,
yeah,
he's probably off balance, and you can juke him.
Right. Or run him over. Or
bring him over, yeah.
Lower the shoulder. That's a great catch right there. That's a big play. I think third down. They caught that guy on that pass play on that rollout. That was a good play to.
Yeah. So Cleaner still.
It's finally a keeper. I mean, so many guys get up there yelling about him not keeping the ball. At least all through the first quarter is wide open. Like, why doesn't he keep it? Why doesn't he keep it? I said, well, I don't think he's going to be open all the time. So, but, you know, he takes off and runs with this thing here and got it almost in the end zone. So, yeah, good plays there, good runs. Charbonneau ran hard, and Haskins. And like I said, the line, you just look at the line, they're just firing off and posing their wheel right there kind of thing.
Right. And Ruiz had an awesome game.
Yeah, he
really did. He's been real disappointing all year.
He was
really good last year.
He was
he just, I don't know, maybe with that new offense, he had too much to do.
I don't know.
You know, maybe they put a lot of calls on him.
Sure.
You know, that they didn't do last year or something, but I mean, he was awesome.
God, he was in that second level every play, just getting down, getting over those linebackers. Those linebackers had to be tired of getting him.
It could be like I looked up at the scoreboard and it was 60 some yards rushing and 0 passing or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zero
I don't think
pass,
I don't think he completed a pass for most of the first quarter.
Yeah, I was just like, we're running like crazy.
This stuff drives you crazy still.
There, I'm like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, let's look at that again. How do you do this as a senior quarterback?
Yeah, this
I'm
started
just going to throw left-handed
like that.
behind me.
Have lateral, so you lose it where the ball goes out of bounds, and now we're
Right.
So just taking your thing, or
Take
yeah, that was like, oh, you scratch your head, you know, everything's going well, and then all of a sudden,
sudden this happened.
a couple of those kind of plays didn't cost you, you know, and hopefully, unfortunately, it didn't
Nope.
cost. Hopefully, it rolled out of bounds, and then just someone one of the Notre Dame guys didn't jump on it, you know.
And that's what's okay. So here's the thing. He didn't have a very good game.
No, numbers wise.
He dominated Notre Dame, and their senior quarterback did not have a very good game.
Right.
I mean, he has that. He put the ball on the ground twice, I think.
Right.
I mean, one he lost, one he fell on, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Yeah.
don't think he lost one, did he? I don't
You
think
know, I mean, we're talking about all the, you know, like, you know, a few minutes ago, Pat, you said something about the Singer still catch. Well, a lot of those catches are because he's throwing bad passes.
Oh yeah.
You know, the one coming up, a touchdown pass in the, from our view right now, the right end zone.
Yeah.
So what would that be, like the south end zone?
It was behind Donald
Yeah.
Jones, and he had to adjust to make the catch and keep it off.
I don't expect perfection.
No.
But damn. I mean, that's a good throw right there.
That's a great catch there. He got both feet in for being, when they.
But yeah, he's just not. I mean, he's an average quarterback when he's playing well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that is a good throw.
Yeah.
That's an outstanding catch.
Both those feet were in there, I think, in the replay.
But yes, okay. So Sainer still. Let's go into that real quick. Fall camp. That's all you heard about. How great that guy is, and he's really coming. He's such a huge surprise, and all this different stuff. And then he sits on his butt for 4 or 5 games, and you're wondering, like, you know, okay, so do I not believe any kind of hype coming out of camp?
Right.
And now you're seeing it. The last couple games, you know, he got as many targets, and he's full on rotation player.
Sure.
He's a full on rotation player with Bell, who's probably been the most consistent receiver all year, and then 3 guys who are likely pros next year, if not the year after. You know, you got a true freshman coming in and stealing snaps from him.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Oh yeah. I think he had a lot of hype in that fall and spring and summer. I remember reading about it, but yeah, Michigan just pretty much imposed their will and got going on them, and you know they made a big. Was that the interference play? I think that was the interference play that everybody kept their drive going and made it 17-7. I think.
I don't think they scored on this one.
I think they scored on this one.
No, they do score on this one.
I thought maybe we did his third quarter. Yeah,
third quarter.
But yeah, the referees take a beating here and announced to stop throwing stuff on the field. They gave away towels pregame, Griff, and so everybody had a towel and they were soaking wet, so they had them tied up, rolled them up, and were whipping them down into that corner by the student section at the referees and at the players. So they had to make an announcement that it's a matter of time. And then they went to the replay, and the guy was looking at the camera, and they had to put security around him because people were trying to throw stuff at him. Harbaugh actually stepped out there in that corner and kind of looked at people, told them to stop because it was starting to get out of hand. They eventually stopped, but yeah, it was kind of funny for the most part. That one's tough one there. I think his knee was down before the line. The guy replayed it, I think, don't they? Maybe not. But
this is the score.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, obviously you watch this game and everything that they did, that they excelled on, and momentum's going, and now they got Maryland. They got to go to Maryland, and hopefully we don't see. I think they're probably pelting it now. But hopefully they don't mess up against Maryland. That was a great play there. The reception play, we let him wide open.
There's a towel on his helmet there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, go to Maryland now, and hopefully, keep this momentum they've got from Illinois and the Notre Dame game, and the positive play that they got in that second half against Penn State. Hopefully, it keeps rolling along here. But obviously, Ohio State looks tough. They took care of Wisconsin, got Wisconsin, defeated them, took care of business there.
So are they going to have their let-up game?
What's that?
Ohio State traditionally has that. I guess not. Ohio State traditionally has that let-up game.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the last couple of years it's been brutal where they lose by 4 scores.
Purdue beat them one year, and Iowa beat them one year, I think.
Well, we were looking at
this.
We were looking at the schedule last night. I don't know that there is one, right? Because they
play Rutgers, they play Maryland,
and they got Maryland, and they got Rutgers.
they got Penn State.
And then week 4 in the Michigan Ohio State game, they got Penn State. So
yeah, I don't see him getting. I don't see him stumbling.
No, I don't.
That's
a powerhouse.
That was one of their.
So, yeah, okay. So let me do my my rip on the media of the week. One of them is saying how he's got LSU number 1 because they have the best resume.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Ohio State. Yeah, there's that catch that I was talking about.
The replay here.
LSU. Number 2 is Ohio State because he's never seen a team as good in probably 16 years or so in college football.
The reporter.
Number 2.
The guy talking about it?
Like, wait a second. Yeah, see, that's not a good throw.
Look at that.
A little bit wobbling.
Go them out, man. That's a great catch. Keep it off the turf. Yeah.
That, again, the scariest part is that it doesn't appear like anybody's threatening to beat him. Like,
no.
He's fully entrenched as number 1.
Who's that? Ohio?
No. I'm talking sorry. I jumped back to Patterson.
Oh, yeah.
So if he's by far the best Michigan has, I mean, what happens next year?
Right. Like I said, open it up and they both fight for it there between, number 10 and number 5. Got to battle it out.
Well, traditionally, especially in the last 5-6 years, the loser transfers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, usually it's.
So then you're down to 2 guys, if that happens, because that
McNamara
this year had to retire from football.
Caffrey,
hear about that?
Yeah. C.J. Johnson.
Yeah, J.D.
J.D. Johnson.
Yeah, J.D. Johnson.
Yeah, he had some heart or something. Had to.
Yeah, tell me that doesn't suck.
That's terrible.
You think you're good enough to get a scholarship to Michigan as a quarterback, and before the end of your senior year, you have to retire from the game.
Right. Yeah, in high school.
At least from playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a kick in the pants.
That's a kick in the pants.
That's great.
Comment there, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, obviously, it all plays its way out, and I think Michigan will, the coaching staff will figure it out, and they're going to get so many more reps, and they're going to get, it's crucial about. I think last week's game secured Michigan for the bowl, so they'll get some more practice time for the bowls and get that all going. So I'm looking forward to Maryland. Obviously, Maryland's going to be another good challenge, a road game. A lot of talk between the head coach and Gaddis in the preseason. So we'll see if that transpires. But I mean, Michigan's defense has been playing strong, and their offense is starting to catch up. So maybe it's it could be a good finish to the season here. And we go to East Lansing here. You talk about Michigan State. They had Penn State in town, and Penn State kind of went up there and got out early on them and kind of shut it down. After that. And now today I just hear that their starting middle linebacker is suspended.
Yeah.
Now Batchy's got to sit out now because of failed drug test or something. So that's another dagger in their season right now. Different things going on that they got to deal with up there, and D'Antonio's already trying to put out fires. And I think, yeah, you hate to see. I mean, obviously they were high expectations on the season with the defense and renewed offense, but they have a good. I mean, besides Michigan on the end, their tail end of their season here isn't that schedule wise. You could pull out some wins and get to the bowl game, but
let's hope. I mean,
for them,
they have. I mean, their heart and soul of their defense just got suspended for the year.
Right.
I mean, and they seem a little fragile anyway.
Right.
Is he out? Did they
4-4 now.
Well, they're going to appeal it, obviously.
But that's the suspension they handed out was the rest of the year? I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, right?
For the rest of the year. I heard they're going to appeal it, but I think he may be done for the year unless.
Yeah, I thought he was done for the year. That might be just my assumption.
Yeah.
He still got the defensive end there, and the defense isn't too bad. I mean, obviously, but Penn State went up there and proved that they're for real. I think for another week, and they're ranked in the top 6 now. I think 5 or 6 in the AP rankings. So obviously the weather Saturday was very difficult. Whether or not that impeded the game, but it's just one of those things for Michigan State again. I think they just, offensively they couldn't put the ball, in the end zone. They only got 7 points. Lose the game. They gave that early cushion to them, and they must have stiffened up a little bit there. But
I don't know. I still don't buy Penn State as a super team. I mean, I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're a great team.
It kind of gets back to what we've talked about before. They're a good Big Ten team, right? I think, from a national perspective at this point, there's probably only one Big Ten team that should be in consideration for, the top 4 or whatever. I think that's Ohio State, kind of like you said.
That's a good point.
It is, so, Penn State's a good Big Ten team. But, you look at it and you go, man, what if they somehow, are able to go down there and beat Ohio State? Then they're in the driver's seat, right? But
talking about that last night, Sam. Aren't we a little bit driving?
What's that?
We were talking about that last night on the radio. The guys were talking. I think Penn State happens to upend Ohio State.
Yeah, we hear listening to these guys. They're talking about, under this scenario, this is how you get 2 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff. Pat and I were like, what? You got to be kidding! Like that'll never happen.
It was like unreal. Are you kidding me?
It was like, oh wow.
Penn State and Ohio State. So it'd have to be Penn State's got to beat Ohio State to give them 1 loss, and Ohio State wins out. So then Alabama loses to somebody, or whatever, to LSU. So then Alabama's got a loss. So Alabama's got 1 loss, and Ohio State's got 1 loss. And Penn State goes through and runs the table, wins the Big Ten championship. So Penn State's in. So now you're looking at a 4th seed team. Is it Ohio State or Alabama? Who do you take, in that situation? And they're like, Ohio State resume, blah, blah, blah. Good cause for the 2 Big Ten teams to get in there, and Alabama would lose out. And you have like Clemson and LSU in there or something,
The only thing worse than those for instances are when the for instances that happen with 4 games left to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so much can happen.
So much.
I mean, look at the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Georgia losing. You have Wisconsin losing twice.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Oklahoma losing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things just have a way of working out.
Yeah, they do.
And
debate them all.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's me, and maybe I'm just the old fuddy-duddy, but God, just enjoy it and let it happen. Don't overthink it, and that's what people do.
I agree with that. 100%. You can sit there and analyze it till you're blue in the face, and then all of a sudden, just by the time it just plays its way out, like tomorrow night, USC and Oregon. What they play Friday or Saturday night, right? Friday night or something. Friday, Saturday night, they're both, Oregon's got 1 loss. They have a chance to run the table and win the Pac-12. So then a 1-loss Oregon team, obviously it doesn't boil down to the strength of schedule. We'll figure that out next Tuesday night, when you get the first BCS rankings are released and you see where they're at. at that point in time there, That's rare. You don't see Michigan State struggle with the field goal. They've had
No.
a hard time this year.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
The field goal unit just he's either missed them or he's got blocked or you're failing at that. That's usually their strong point all day.
Even with that, it hit the guy in the face.
I was just going to say, you don't see too many blocked field goals with the
open
helmet.
There's number one there, guy. Mike is number one there to score down.
Yeah.
He's
Dude, I'm telling you.
that kid's working his way up the rankings. Watch him. I don't know how he comes so wide open here. They're in zone.
Well, you got a linebacker.
Yeah.
He comes underneath, so they're trying to cover him with the linebacker. Then the linebacker.
That linebacker's got to put him on his can, right? He can't,
Right, exactly.
Yeah, bump him or something. There's that quarterback scrambling in there. They go for two. They went for two right there. Got the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate you.
21-0. There it is. 21-0.
Franklin makes some weird decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple times every year that he
There you
that's
bought.
really bad.
yeah.
That's just somebody who's not focused at all.
There's 21. There's 28 right there, coming up 28 to nothing. So right there, you're looking at they give up that easy pass play across there, and then now this guy drops the ball right there. Tough situation. Back in the day, there was always line up on the 10. If it goes over your head, let it go.
Yeah.
Now here's this guy backing up and catching it at the 5 on a pouring rain day.
Right.
You needs to say, hey, we'll take the ball wherever it lands, wherever it ends up. You know what I mean? Not in that situation.
Yep.
In that situation, try to catch a ball like that. You think you go straight up, just let that ball go, and then we'll take it. And, don't give here you give Penn State first and goal. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and this guy's going to be wide open. Fake here, right to the van. But,
all right. So in this, what you haven't seen yet, I swear they haven't shown anything.
The seats available.
You haven't seen a Lewerke highlight.
Oh no.
All right. So Lewerke, again, there's something going on there. Everything all of a sudden went south, and went south quickly.
Right.
Now, again, I know their competition picked up.
Sure.
And they had a weaker early schedule, and
There we go.
all their power was in the middle of the Michigan game.
There you go. There's your.
There you go. Awesome. Great job, guys.
Right on cue.
28-0. Halfway through the third.
They scored.
Boom.
Touchdown here, making a little late.
Boom, baby.
That's pretty much how it ends right there.
Plenty of good seats available.
I said that earlier. I go, obviously the weather's bad, but I think people have really thrown in the towel there as far as the crowd.
Well, again, I don't want to shred these guys, but that's MSU in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Remember they'd get all fired up and they'd be 4-1 or 5-0 coming into the Michigan game.
Right.
And then they'd lose to Michigan, and all of a sudden, instead of having 70,000 people, they'd have 40,000.
Right. Well, you can point
very quickly do they
big
retreat and go to their parties.
No, this guy. Oh, that's a terrible.
Yeah, that was an awful throw.
There's where you say that's where your
That was a punt.
Your justification there, Griff, for Penn State's really not one of the dominant teams when the quarterback.
Yeah, let's do that again.
That was a punt. It was third down. Right?
So yeah, 3rd down and 6.
That's a punt.
I'd rather punt though.
Yeah,
I know.
That wasn't 3rd and 27.
3rd and 6, and you try to air it out there. You could cut underneath somewhere.
That was something I'd do in the back 40. Just pressure. Let's just heave it up.
Picked off there.
And even then, I knew it was wrong.
That was not even a good. Is that Lewerke throwing that one?
Yeah. So Lewerke.
Get right back to him. Get right back to us.
And you don't know what's going on. I mean, they don't. I mean, they're the same. It's turning into last year for Michigan State. Their defense is good, but even then, it's not as good as it was last year.
It's got to be
Their
demoralizing.
offense is just scoring less than 10 points a game in big games against anybody decent. Lewerke. Their offensive line is bad and injured.
Injured, right?
So how much that affects Lewerke, or is Lewerke is he doing that Devin Gardner thing, where he's just been hit so much now he's seeing ghosts, as everyone says now.
Sure. Yeah.
But he's just gun shy and just thinks he's going to get a helmet to the chin every single time he goes back. Whatever it is, I mean, dude was 16 to 34, interception, 2 fumbles.
Right.
That's not good.
Yeah. No, not for expectations that he had. Going in, no doubt about it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for him. I think obviously they're that Arizona State game kind of took a little air out of him, and then losing to obviously Ohio State, Wisconsin, and now Penn State. You lose that trifecta. They're on a bye week again here, coming in this week. So you go bye week, play Penn State, get another bye week. And on this bye week, now you get the announcement that the linebacker and star player is out.
Right.
Now he's really got to. And then today, I think they were talking about on Big Ten Network. They said, these teams, what do they got to do to salvage their season? And sure enough, they go up. They talk about Michigan State, Indiana, Illinois, something I forget, like 3 teams, and one of them was Michigan State. And I'm like, well, Michigan State, the only thing they can live on is going to Ann Arbor and pull that thing out, and that'll make their season and make all their alums happy if they can go in Ann Arbor and win that game and win that rivalry game. That'll make their whole season so much brighter or something like that. And obviously it is. It's the truth, obviously. And like we always said, growing up at Michigan State, Michigan was the Super Bowl. That was their creme de la creme. It didn't matter. They could go 0 and whatever, but they could get one win and it'd be against Michigan. So I hate for them to be at that point again with how much success they've had. But I hate to hear that as a battle cry. Let's go get Michigan and beat Michigan, and that's it.
Kind of what it's down to, though, at this point.
That thing up there on 1st and 10 there, and that's 4th quarter. So, yeah, let's throw this thing up for grabs here. I don't know if that's the work here or.
Well, unfortunately, you went to like 120 DPI or something. So it's like just really bad clarity here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can barely even see what he's trying to do.
Right.
He can just do
rain's coming
over and behind. Look at this guy. Look at the end of the tackle, though.
So he drags him.
Yeah, right here.
Takes him for a run.
Hey, wee! That looks fun. I used to do that with my dad. I just hang onto his leg. And he'd drag me around. I was like, ooh.
That was number 12. He's number 12.
Oh, that's Rocky Lombardi.
Yeah, I was 12. I got bigger.
Yeah. Well, they can figure it out in the bye week, and I think they come back and play Illinois first, and then they got Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Rejuvenated Illinois team too. Forward too, so
yeah,
that's not an easy task. They're sitting there thinking that's going to be an easy win, and that's going to be probably a good challenge for them.
At least it's at home.
Yeah, at least they got it at East Lansing. But look at the crowd here; they barely had anybody at this game. So what's it going to be like for that? There are plenty of seats available. Sell your tickets to Illinois fans who are positive. Mojo, but and then they've got we go right into the Lions and the momentum that they got going now. They pulled out the game that they're supposed to win. They beat the Giants in a good game there against the Giants. I kind of figured that was going to happen. I thought it'd be a little bit more. The score would be a little bit more lopsided than it was, but it is what it is. It kind of played its way out, and they got the win that they're supposed to win, and they get ready to travel out west here to Oakland this weekend, coming up to play the Raiders. I'm not confident about that one, that's for sure. But a
winnable game for sure, right? I mean, it's a winnable.
I think they go out to Oakland and play well. I think they can go out there and hang with those guys. I think, they jumped out on it 14-0. I thought, here we go. And the next thing you know, it's like 17-13 the next time I checked it. And, it's like, oh, what are we doing now? Letting them hang around. And then we scored, I think, maybe 24-13. But, some good signs from them. They executed and took care of. And these are the kind of games back when the Lions were the Lions that, all of a sudden, how did we screw that game up? We should have won that game. We played Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers were terrible.
I was thinking the same thing. All of a sudden there'd be some big play right at the end of the game where all of a sudden they're throwing the ball into the end zone from the Lions 9 or something.
Right.
And hey, touchdown, amazing comeback. Watch this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can only see it on remember you had to stay up for like Monday Night Football halftime?
Oh yeah, to watch the halftime highlights of
Yeah. like doo-doo.
That was like the only time you could watch all the highlights, really, because it wasn't like ESPN or didn't
That's
have.
right.
That was the only time Pat could see Jim kick, you know.
That's right. Only time Jim Cook did make his appearance. Unless he was on NBC or whatever. But yeah, he watched all the guys back then, back in the day. Eric Metcalf and Jim Kick and all guys. I don't know if you guys remember Eric Metcalf.
All right, so Lions. Yeah, okay, so they win. Talking about it. They win, which is great. I mean, if you're a Lions fan, they win. It's a good win.
Right.
But it's one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
And they beat them by less than a score. Less than a score. They beat them by a score at home.
Yeah.
So you really want to bury teams like this if you're good.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to do something, you really want to bury a team like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have, but they let them hang out.
They don't hang around.
But the end of 3-game skid, which is always nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how often Lions have 3-game skids. Like, how many times in the last 20 years have the Patriots said something like, "Oh my God, we've lost 3 games. It's great, we won one."
Yeah.
But no, you know, huge day for Stafford, huge day for a couple receivers like Galladay and Amendola. Defense looks pedestrian.
Excuse me.
Well, you know, they've had a few. They got rid of their defensive back, and they were threatening to get rid of their other DB, Gray. There's something there, and then.
Was he hurt or?
I don't think so. I think he played the other night, didn't he? He dressed and played. But they got rid of the one guy and sent him to Seattle.
Yeah.
You know, so that's. Yeah, they said he was. Yeah, I think you guys are talking about that he was kind of a bad locker room guy. So maybe it's something that was causing some disarray. But
yeah, that was the talk.
You know, losing Carry On is a big thing. You know, he's not running for us anymore. And you know, I think if we can get some things going, and
I love see that. I love stuff like that.
Put the hammer on him.
Yeah.
A little too far. Here we go.
Yeah, Decker, or is this the?
No, I just love seeing it. Like it's because it's like an orchestra.
Oh yeah, watching
right here coming through and boom,
comes back and
this guy's looking the wrong. I mean, like the opposite way. I mean, a well-designed football play is an awesome looking thing.
Right.
Oh, you got people like, you know, looking the wrong way and they're right there ready to make a play, but you made them look. You know, there's that stuff. And then again, you guys would be able to speak to this better than I can, but I know there's little keys that you look, like if you can read the guy's number or if you can see the guy's shoulder, or you see a guy's helmet, you know where he's looking. So you look for that. Like you look to see what the guy's looking at, and then you do something based on that, you know, knowing the play. And it's just amazing how much, you know, trickery there is with that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, go, hey, that guy, I don't have to block that guy because he's looking the wrong way, even though the ball's running right at him right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or of course, poor unsuspecting guy you trap and all those things.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, trap's been around in football forever.
The end zone cam.
Still a great play.
Watch the game, you know, the end zone cam is a good way to watch the game if you're a fan. I think, you know, and I know Sam and them, you guys use that. A lot of schools put the helmet up there and video from the end zone cam so you can see all your spacing and your line movement. And even like NBC, I think it was NBC or maybe the NFL Network, they put that camera over, the one that hangs over the field. They start putting that in a position where you can almost watch the game from that area. I think they had it like it was too foggy at one of the games, so they had to go down to that camera that hangs over the video of the game because that's the only thing that was really a clear picture. And they had to do like almost the whole third quarter last year, and everybody loved it. So then they started showing more
view.
Camera from that right above, like where, you know, tailback, or, you know, just about maybe 10 yards back from the line, 15 yards back from the line. And you could, each snap, you just watch the lineman just turn and go. And like you said, Griff, it's almost like artwork. You watch them just turn and get the blocks in that situation.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's the other part with that.
You can't really, here you can see it, but you can't really see it. But when you're behind the line, you can
Well,
really
and that's the thing. So think about like video games,
right.
like all the Madden games and the NCAA football games.
Sure.
They're behind the line.
The video. That's the video.
You know, and a lot of these guys, you know, myself included, you know, we've been playing these games for a long time,
Yeah.
and that's the view, and that is the view.
Right.
That's where you can see all the cool stuff.
You can choose to play it this way, but you don't. You play it from behind the quarterback.
Right. Exactly.
That's what you may see down the road. Or I like the umpire cam, or I like you put on a
Right.
ad, or even I always said the next step for these guys for entertainment purposes is to mic these guys up or put a camera on a guy so that you can watch them and they can go to that camera.
Right.
Whether it's on a running back or the quarterback or even a lineman, you know, so that periodically throughout the game you can show that scene, which adds a little bit more to the game, you know, besides just
Right.
you know, I mean, you got your pylon cam, you got your side cam with the referee on the sideline. He's got a camera on his cap, you know, on his bill. But I think getting it right down in there and you can listen to them. I think listening to play calls or listening to, you know, that kind of stuff is really, and whether it's something you got to put on cable because the guys are swearing at each other or whatever, you got to beep it out. But that'd be kind of cool to get in there and listen to the actual dialogue that goes on in there, you know, and would enhance the viewing pleasure.
Yeah.
They may have to charge people to listen to it, just like you do with the Red Zone or whatever, you know. But you could actually that could be an option for fans to watch, you know.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, you take your favorite team. I mean, take, you know, Michigan.
Mhm.
I'd pay for that out of Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking like Phil Knight.
Yeah.
Has a headset for Oregon games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he's in his suite, but he has a headset.
We can listen to
You can hear what all the coaches are saying to each other.
Wow.
I'm like, tell me that wouldn't be awesome.
Right. Sit there and listen.
I mean, oh my God, I'd love that. And so then just have like, you know, even if it was like one camera or one microphone on
Mhm.
Harbaugh, just hearing what he's saying the entire time.
Right.
I mean, that guy's a nut job anyway. I mean, I'd love to see what he's doing during a game.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear Don Brown.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. But I mean, dude, I'd probably pay $20 a game for that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, even the other day, they had a guy standing in the tunnel at Michigan, and he was videoing, so I caught it online. So
I saw you sent that out. Yeah.
I shared that, and it's a team coming down the tunnel pregame,
Tunnel.
and they come down the tunnel, and you see them all running there, and they're talking, and hear them hooting and hollering the whole time in the tunnel. Then the team goes out, and here this guy kept going. He's running out the tunnel with them, you know, and he followed along like you run out. And just before he got to jump up and hit the flag, you know, the video killed out, but it was kind of cool.
It was very good.
And running here and the band playing and everything, it's kind of a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always said that'd be a nice ticket to do. Is you find, you know, you got 100,000 plus in the crowd, pick out 5 or 10 lucky ticket holders who can go down there and meet, and you get to go down the tunnel with the team and run out on the field and run across and then go back up to your seats after. But I mean, what would people pay to be able to do that one time?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I had a friend of mine from high school. She at the Iowa game, she texted me. She goes, "Hey, I'm down on the field. I'm home holding out the MGO Blue banner." She goes,
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Her daughter is. She had a daughter that I think is a like either a tutor or an academic advisor with the Michigan Athletic Department. So somehow I'm sure she got down there. And her husband got down there because of her. But that's a once in a lifetime thing. Right? Kind of fun.
That was I always just to be involved with that a little bit. It could be a different guy each week, you know, give it different 10 people each week. You just blind draw, and you notify them and say, hey, you meet 30 minutes before the game in the tunnel. Show them, you know, your name will be on a list with some your name identification, and you stand there. And then when the team goes out, you go out with them. Just don't act like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can even call it. And I mean, what's funny about it? I mean, they have, you know, like the Ira J. Newbaum head coach or whatever it is.
Right.
You know, I mean, you could do that. Have like, you know, the Gary Moeller fan of the day or something.
Right.
I mean, people would pay thousands for that.
Oh my gosh.
For my health. I mean, there's that They have a 5K race, running race
Right.
that ends in
Running through the tunnel.
yeah, it runs through the tunnel, and you go on. The finish line is the banner.
Banner is the right in midfield.
That's when Bob's always threatening to run.
Yeah, well, Bob and I are doing the. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the university, but there's an Ann Arbor 5K
Is there?
that we're doing.
Oh yeah.
There's your final 5-point game there, 31-26.
Getting it done.
I don't know. I don't feel real confident with the Lions going out west. I think Gruden and the Raiders are going to probably put together a game, and I know it goes back to the old days when the Lions couldn't win on the other side of Mississippi River. So I think the West Coast, remember the years they couldn't win on the West Coast. So I'm just kind of in that same boat. I think as good as I think they are, I think Oakland's going to somehow pull this thing out on them and beat the Lions out there in Oakland there.
What's your score, Pat?
Yeah.
For that one, I think it's going to be 28-23.
23. I got 28-21 Lions.
I have 28-27 Lions.
28-27. I'll stick on 28.
I think they pull it out.
I think they
I
get
think they're different,
Yeah.
and I think they can beat an average team.
I agree. I think they get it done. Well, Michigan.
I don't know, because I picked them early in the season to only win 4 or 5 games, right? 5 games. So
So you're just
one of
holding
my losses. I got to go with one of my losses. Last week was one of my wins.
You're just holding back on.
I didn't have
And
that.
it's funny.
Huh?
Because it's funny because it's still that whole thing like with Michigan. They're exactly where I thought they would be.
Yeah.
But how they got there is completely different.
From Pat.
Did you have them losing to Notre Dame
Everything's frozen.
preseason? You're kind of frozen, Griff.
Yeah, you're frozen, Griff. I see Pat moving around.
I'm moving still. Keep driving. There you go. Now you're moving. Now you're back.
I thought it was a Halloween effect.
All right.
Sure.
Wow. Was yeah, you guys like froze for that, and I'm moving.
You're moving.
So
It was the opposite.
anyway, what was I talking about?
You were saying that they're at where they thought they would, but just
Yeah.
Got there a different way.
Yeah, because they look so horrible, but I still had them. Again, I mean, like the prediction at the beginning of the year, I had them losing at Wisconsin, and I had them losing at Penn State and winning everything else to this point.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So I'm like, wait, how? I mean, they're not. I mean, until the last 6 quarters, they've been nothing like what I thought they would be.
No.
But the prediction is still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Now
you had them 6 and 2.
the weekly predictions, I switched them up. Like again, last week, I thought Notre Dame was going to handle them pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But hey, I'm wrong. Not the first time. Won't be the last time.
That's right.
And in this case, I'm happy to be wrong.
Happy.
Heck yeah. Walking
So
on.
what happens against Maryland?
I got 35-7. I don't think you're gonna have any problem with it.
7. Wow. That's good.
I have 41-7.
41-7. All right, that's not bad. That's pretty impressive. I think Michigan gets 49. I think Maryland gets 10.
49-10.
49-10. I think the offense is going to roll. I think defensively they're going to get after it a little bit. I think Maryland, they have some athletic players, man. But I think that the Michigan's got it corrected here, and I don't think they'll get 50, but I think they'll get 49.
Hopefully,
Maryland's on a little downturn themselves. I mean,
yeah.
that's
That's
it.
right.
But State started their downturn against good teams.
Mhm.
Maryland's doing it against bad teams.
Right.
I mean, they're averaging like 7 yards, giving up 7 yards a rush or something,
Mhm.
and that's in their last 4 games, and that's like against like
Yeah.
Purdue and Rutgers and crap.
They haven't played at Maryland. Hasn't played Ohio State yet, have they? Right?
No,
They got to play them. So they got Michigan and Ohio State.
That's one of the. That's I think that's Ohio State's other road game. They got to go to Maryland.
Penn State went in there a few weeks ago and then kind of put it to Maryland when it was the big game of the week, and they ended up just laying an egg.
yeah, that was like 77-0 or something.
Yeah,
It was pretty good, But yeah, hopefully
Oh, maybe I'm wrong about Penn State. Maybe they are way better than I thought.
Yeah,
But
I just
Wow.
don't.
you can't tell that against Maryland, I guess.
Penn State's gonna work their way through, and they'll get into that playoff game, and it'll be the same outcome that Michigan State ran into the other. They'll get beat 38-0 in that playoff game or something. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
do you want the Big Ten to get there? Yeah. Do you want them to get there and get embarrassed? No. You know, we'd rather have them get there and play a good game. You never know. But look at the Gophers. The Gophers are playing really well. That's going to be a big game. They got to play Penn State coming up here, right? They got.
Is that this week?
I don't know if that's this week or not. I thought
I
Minnesota.
think it's next week.
Next week, yeah.
Next week they play Penn State. They got to go to Happy Valley, don't they? Don't they go to Happy Valley for that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think
Oh,
Minnesota-
it's
People were talking about it being in
Minnesota.
yeah, they've never gone to Minnesota, like, you know, that game day.
It's at TCF Bank Stadium. Yeah, it's in Minnesota.
Penn State's at Minnesota.
Mhm.
Oh, that'd be a good challenge for them.
How many blue blood programs have a stadium named after a corporate entity?
TCF Bank Stadium.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
You know, is it the McDonald's, Horseshoe?
Right.
You know, it's, yeah. I mean, Bryant Denny Stadium, but I mean, those are, you know, like legendary Alabama people. It's not, you know, Mrs. Winters, Bryant Denny Stadium.
Even over the years, Michigan Stadium is
Barbecue.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The stadium's still Michigan Stadium. They haven't named it after, you know, Oosterbahn. They haven't named it after any of the guys. It's just Michigan Stadium. You know, just like Ohio State is, I think Ohio State Stadium, right? They haven't changed the horseshoe or anything.
Issue.
I don't think any other stadiums have changed it.
Okay, so if you do name it after somebody, who would you name it after?
If you name Michigan Stadium,
Yep.
somebody? Boy, yeah, I don't think you
A
name.
lot of choices.
Huh?
Got a lot of choices.
Yeah.
That'd be very
Yost-
political.
Yost Fielding H. Yost Field, or do you go with, you know,
Harmon.
Lloyd Carr? Huh?
Tommy Harmon.
Yep. Tommy Harmon.
Tommy Harmon Field. There you go. Tommy Harmon Field. See
Yeah,
what
Tommy Harmon Field at Michigan Stadium.
what's
Dude,
in
Howard
Howard,
Smith.
That has a nice ring to it, actually.
It does.
It really does.
Howard Woodson Field, maybe or something.
You got to go back. You got to go
The
back.
Heisman Trophy winners that you know, you name it after the Heisman Trophy winners, or be kind of tough to
Yeah.
you know, to find someone there, you know, in that situation.
Right.
Pick one.
That's the whole thing. Like when they do the Mount Rushmore of
Right.
schools,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to pick four, but it's a hell of a lot easier to pick four than one.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hard to pick one.
like I did. I put the you said Herman Howard Woodson Field or something, you know.
It would probably have to be like Don Canham or something.
You know, Gannon built it and Bo filled it, right?
Yeah. Or
Well,
you go with like
Speaking of Michigan,
know,
Michigan's Mount Rushmore.
Ufer or something.
Yeah, Michigan's Mount Rushmore. A lot of them. They showed them the other day. I think it was like Bo Schembechler, Woodson, Brady, and somebody else. I think they had on there. Oosterbahn, or maybe even Kramer might have been on there or something. I think maybe. But
I bet you would never be Dave Brandon Field.
they
No.
make that cut.
Or
Who's the other guy who put the gold ring around?
yeah, I was just gonna say that. Was it Goff?
Goff.
Like that?
Ring around.
So we know that
Yeah,
there's a few
Halo.
that it would never be.
Guys would never make the ballot. Nobody would make the ballot. None of those guys would make the ballot. I don't think. We'd have a better chance at the ballot.
You would, Pat. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's be tough. I mean, you think of all the schools. I mean, even Michigan State. I'm sure there's probably a lot there that struggle. Ohio State, you know, trying to pick top. You know, Archie Griffin. You're much more of Ohio State. There he is. Hey, Wheatley, how you doing?
Trying to put a plug in for Tyrone there.
Tyrone. Maybe Wheatley could get in there too. He was a Rose Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I see how you did that. A little plug in there for Tyrone.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, I mean, yeah, we'll see how they go next week. You know, we've got the results for next week here, and you got the high school playoffs. Sam's got his Everest Collegiate shirt on there. They got the
Yeah. Congrats, Sam.
playing Beecher Friday night,
Yeah.
tomorrow night. So big game for them. First round of the playoffs. All the high schools got first round of the playoffs next week or tomorrow night. tomorrow night or Saturday. Exciting couple weeks here to follow that a little bit. Talk about that. Hopefully you guys pull that out, get revenge. You knocked us off last year.
Yep, last year in the district final. So we drew them this year in first round.
For sure. And you got the winner of Fowler and Oakland Christian. So hopefully you guys can put the run through there, make a little run.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. But other than that, is there anything else you guys think of that we didn't cover? Besides the Pistons won, talked about the World Series.
Red Wings acting like the Red Wings.
Yeah, the Red Wings making some moves. He's shuffling the lineup. Traded some guys, made some trades. Stevie Y says, enough of this crap.
That's it. Kind of like that.
7 out of 8.
Okay.
Pissing off the GM. He's already going to start making some moves. Not going to stand pat. You guys got to be head on a swivel. Your job's not safe. You move you up and down.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. They always said that with Belichick.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
He would, somebody would miss a block on a special teams play, and he'd cut him.
Yeah.
They let Bennett go. They let their defensive lineman Bennett go because he argued with one of the coaches and here you go, take it easy. Here's your first ticket out. You're gone. I think they shipped him to the Cowboys or something.
Ow.
Good spot for him.
Or somebody else got shipped out to the Dolphins. Like, that's sometimes where you get the guys you don't really like them, you ship them to the last place team.
Yeah.
Oh man, I sure really get pissed. You're on a playoff team, and all of a sudden you get shipped to the freaking worst team in the league. It's like, hey, there you go. We'll see you last. Kind of deal. But yeah, some good games this weekend here. You got the giant cocktail party. Florida and Georgia play. SMU and Memphis is the game of the week on ABC. Undefeated SMU against one-loss Memphis. That's the
Game day.
Game day. Game day's going there, yeah. Memphis.
Yeah.
Never been. So, but all right, fellas. So till next week.
All right. I try to warm up here.
Yeah, try to get some heat in there. See, bundle up.
I need a hot beverage.
They're moving the game to Clarkston High, huh?
Yeah.
Anybody's going? Don't go to
Planet turf.
Don't go to Everest. Go to Clarkston tomorrow if you're here this morning. But all right, fellas. Thanks.
All right. See you guys.
Be in touch.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
See you, boys.
See you, fellas.